What's going on, guys? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. As you guys read on the title of today's video, I just wanted to go over the top 3 stocks that I'm looking to buy in August 2018. So for those of you guys that are new to my channel, my name is Stas, and I make videos dealing with swing trading, day trading, long-term investing, and my personal philosophies and strategies when it comes down to investing and trading in the stock market. So for those of you guys that are interested in learning more about the stock market and also following along with me in my journey in the stock market in terms of investing and trading, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe, and let's get started with the topic of this video. So we see the first stock here right off the bat is Facebook, ticker symbol FB. And for those of you guys that have not been paying attention to the markets recently, we saw that Facebook took an insane hit to their stock price due to their earnings report. We saw it went from about $220 down to about $175. And we can see that was a 20% drop in its stock price. And just to quickly go over why Facebook stock fell, it was mostly due to the slowing user growth in terms of the Facebook platform itself. We saw that in Canada and in the United States, the user growth for the past quarter was stagnant, meaning it didn't go up, it didn't go down, but the user growth in Europe was actually declining, meaning that, new people are not joining the platform and people are actually falling off of the platform. So we're seeing the user growth start to halt here, and this is something that, we've been waiting for with Facebook because, it already has billions of users. There's going to be a point in time where the growth starts to slow and starts to taper off, and I think we're in that particular time period right now. So in terms of sales, Facebook is still doing very well with 40% growth in 1 year, so this is still a growth stock. And we see what the stock price did, right, taking that 20% dip. And for those of you guys that aren't really familiar with my personal swing trading strategy, my trading strategy is that I look for companies that are in uptrending patterns over time that are at very good dip buy opportunities. And now that we saw Facebook took this 20% drop, and we can see this very clear over the 3-year, 1-week chart here. Every time that Facebook takes a drop, it takes a big hit, the price corrects itself, it shoots up further from there. We saw it here once, right? We saw a big dip from about 189 down to the 140s here. From there it recovered and shot up all the way back to 220, and now it took that very big dip of 20%. And my personal opinion and the way I'm coming into this, my thought process coming into this particular investment is that every time that Facebook has taken a big hit, it's recovered and started to push forward. And now that we're looking at Facebook as a business, guys, this is a profit-generating business. And, Instagram itself has not really done, or it hasn't really gone to the levels yet where it can be in the future in terms of advertisement monetization. And once that starts to kick off, more ad revenues is flowing into Instagram. That's going to be huge for Facebook, since Facebook does own Instagram, for those of you guys that don't know that. So that's going to be something to really look at. And in terms of Facebook stock, I can't really pass up on this 20% dip buy opportunity here, guys. It's just, in my personal opinion, it'll be dumb for me not to invest in Facebook right now. Not saying for you to invest in Facebook, but for me, who's been seeking a position to take in Facebook for over a year now. I've been waiting to get into the stock. I did not get in it at this particular dip buy here. I missed out on that. So, I told myself the next dip buy Facebook takes, I'm going to be investing in it. And this is the perfect opportunity, in my personal opinion, to invest in Facebook. So that's the #1 stock I'm looking to buy in August 2018. Now looking over to the second stock that I'm looking to buy, it's ticker symbol WMT, which is Walmart. And Walmart is one that I've been talking about in the past, right? I was talking about how Walmart's online business has to become better in order for their stock to shoot up. And since they're kind of late to the game with Amazon already, leading the online retail, we all know that. Obviously. And, Walmart is a little bit behind the game since they didn't hop on it until a couple of years after Amazon. But now that Walmart is really starting to work on retail, online retail, and they're really working on their website in terms of generating more sales, figuring out ways to, bring in more customers, I do believe this is going to benefit them well in terms of their stock price. And judging off this long-term chart here, we do see that Walmart is at a dip buy opportunity, and it's been, hovering above the EMA line on this 20-year 1-month chart, right? We do see it takes a pullback here. It pulled back up to another high here. Now it's at another pullback opportunity, but we do see, like I mentioned in another video, and I set an alert here at $90 because, we do see a resistance level at about $90 on Walmart. So if it's able to break above there, and start to push up more, that would be a very good opportunity, in my opinion, to take a look at Walmart as a buy. But if we look a little bit closer to the 184-hour chart, we do see the big sell-off from 110 down to the 80s. And during this sell-off, it was obviously on a downtrending pattern, with the EMA line and with the SMA indicators acting as resistance points. They were trading below, the candlesticks were trading below all these different indicators, and we found a nice little consolidation point and a new support level formed at about $81. We see it bounced here a couple times at about $81. Here it held above $81, and here again it bounced at about $81.50 to $82. So that's a solid support level in terms of Walmart. And what we noticed from here, it was obviously still below the indicators here, meaning that it was still on that downtrending pattern. But what we noticed when it bounced here this time, for the third time at about $81.50, it shot above the SMA indicator. And, the SMA indicator started to act as a support level rather than a resistance point. We see it popped up above here. It topped off at about 88, took another pullback, and then instead of breaking below the SMA indicator like it has in the past, it bounced above it and started to push up more. And we see it did make another higher high in terms of, the other high at about $88. We see here it topped off at about $89, and it's slowly been pushing up, guys, with the EMA line acting as a support level. So I do slowly see the price of Walmart, starting to reverse in terms of the technical analysis. Does this mean that it's going to shoot up back to the hundreds? Absolutely not, but it does, show some good signs of upwards momentum for the stock. And again, if it breaks above this $90 price point, let's say it starts to shoot up into the 90, 92, 91, I'm going to heavily consider buying this particular stock, right? And I already own a couple of shares of Walmart, nothing crazy. It's a very, very, very small position in my portfolio back in about the $85. As I've been talking about the stock for the past month or two, in a couple of videos. I don't know which videos they are, but I did talk about Walmart stock a bunch in the past. So that's what I'm doing in terms of Walmart. So the third stock I'm looking to buy is ticker symbol JNJ, or Johnson & Johnson. So for those of you guys that don't know, Johnson & Johnson is one of the oldest companies, in American history, right? They're the big healthcare company. They have products like Aveeno, Johnson & Johnson's, baby products, Listerine, Zyrtec, Benadryl, all these different products, are owned by J&J. And again, just like Walmart and Facebook, J&J is at a very good dip buy opportunity over time. And we noticed that here on the 3-year 1-week chart. We noticed that every time that J&J took a dip, it ended up recovering, making a higher high. We see it here, we see it here, we see it here, and then from 148 down to the low of about 120, that opened up a nice 20% potential for profit. And like I said, this is one of the oldest companies in America, right? It's not a growth company by any means. It's more of a value play, a dividend play, because they do offer a nice dividend. I'm going to look at Yahoo Finance in a little bit. I think it's about 2 to 3%. But, this is a huge company. They bring a massive amount of revenue in each quarter. And, their revenues aren't growing like a growth company, but they're very, very consistent, right? And this is a very nice, complement to your portfolio if you're looking for a dividend stock, a strong, long-lasting company like J&J that has its foot in a bunch of different areas in healthcare. this is a good, very good stock to look at, and we do see the dip buy opportunity that it's at. It bounced here, it confirmed the bounce at about 120, just a little bit above the, the SMA line here. It started to push up above the EMA line, so, the uptrend pattern is confirmed in this 3-year, 1-week chart. And we can see on the 184-hour chart here, once it topped off at 150, it started to downtrend, and that downtrend was confirmed as it got rejected here again by the SMA indicator, here again by the SMA indicator, and here again by the SMA indicator. So, it was having trouble to break above the SMA indicator. It was trending below the EMA line, and this is pretty much how we understand that JNJ was on a downtrending pattern pretty much from the beginning of 2018 up until about mid-June. And we see here mid-June, we can draw out a very clear support level. The stock was at a support at about $120. It bounced there once, twice, 3 times, so we can validate that as a support level for the stock. And from there, it popped up above the 180 SMA. The SMA was not acting as a resistance point. Now it was acting as a support level. And what do we see when it popped up above there? We see it pulled back and it bounced right on that 180 SMA indicator, made another higher high. Then it bounced again on this 50-day SMA indicator, and we can see that here. I'll draw a quick little trend line for you guys to show the upwards pattern that JNJ is on. It bounced there again, held above it. Now it's shooting up, making another higher high. And with this stock, guys, I'm going to be waiting till it pulls back the next time before I take a position. But now just to quickly hop into the Yahoo Finance platform to show you guys, this is more of a nice dividend investment to add to your portfolio. We do see here it offers about $3.60 per share of dividends, and this is not quarterly, guys, this is yearly, so divide this by 4 to see what you would get per quarter per shares, or however many shares you want. So let's say I have 10 shares of Johnson & Johnson, meaning I would have a $1,300 position in this stock. Pretty much I would get 10 times 3.6 per year in terms of dividends. So I would get about $36 in dividends plus the appreciation of the shares of whatever J&J ends up doing. If it ends up going up 10%, you would get that 10% plus the 3% in dividends, so your yield for that year would be like 13%. You guys get the gist of it. So that's pretty much, how much dividends you get from J&J. And if we look at the financials quickly to talk a little bit about how this company is not in growth mode, they're more in like a defensive strategy right now. They're really just maintaining revenues and maintaining profits with slight little increases over time. And we could see that here dating back from 2014. Their revenues have pretty much been right around 70 to 75 here, and we see the profits right around 50. And that's just what happens when you're in business for like 80, 90, 100 years. I don't know how long they've been in business, but it's been at least 70, 80 years. Don't quote me on that, but I do know this is one of the oldest companies in the United States. So that's what I'm doing in terms of the 3 stocks that I'm buying in August. We talked about Facebook, we talked about Walmart, and we talked about J&J. Let me know down below in the comments, what stocks are you buying in August of 2018? I would love to know. And again, make sure to do your own research when it comes down to investing and trading in the stock market. Do not buy any of these stocks solely based off of my opinion. You have to do your own research, your own due diligence in order to become a self-sufficient trader / investor over time, because that's the whole entire goal of this channel. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, the links are down below in my description. I post my profits there. I post trades I'm taking throughout the day, stock market news, what stocks I'm watching, and just, updates to the channel and random stuff I'm doing throughout the day. So if you guys would follow me on there, I would love it and appreciate it, and I would love to talk to you guys on those platforms, and hope you guys found some value in this video. Let's make some money today. Peace.